So I'm a little bit overexcited. It's new shed day. So the shed is now built, and actually I didn't get a chance to take much more video on the day that it finally got built other than the building process, but we have now had power put in. So this I'm very excited about. We've got the two external powers, and this end is the shed end. Need to get the key. So the shed end, we're starting to fill up already. This will be organised and sorted, but this is going to be Emma's potting bench and then general storage at this end. But the exciting bit is on the other side of that partition. So this will be my workshop. We've got lights, we've got power, got enough power for all my tools on that side and then extraneous on that side, and lights. But then we've got the outside workshop, which also has lights and power. So this will be so that I can forge out here without risking burning stuff down, but also while staying dry. So that's exciting. I've even got space to hold my canoe down the side. So now it's time for a cutting montage so I can start to build the workbench. All the cutting done. Now for a time lapse of me building the workbench. So side one is complete. And yeah, let me just talk you through a couple of the little design bits. Some of the lap joints have worked really well. Completely flush there. Some of them, that was I think my first attempt at cutting it. That one has not been so successful, but structurally still solid. So we've got cross beams up here. Essentially it's two ladders joined by cross beams. It's a fairly simple design, and the idea is that all of this top will take the pressure, because what I found in my last one was, because the worktop was only supported by 3 points, it was kind of pinned to the back wall and then had a leg in the middle. If I hammered on that point, it was really stable. If I hammered on that point, not so much, whereas this should give me much more stability the whole way across. We're still due to get, and I've still got to do the same on the other side as well, but the other thing that I'm going to do is put a workbench that goes across to join the two that can then flip up. So that's coming later. By a pure, and it's sort of coincidence, sort of design, mostly coincidence, I decided on the height for this batten. So again, the whole thing is removable, potentially, if I ever decided I needed to. Essentially, the only thing that actually holds it to the shed are those screws, top and bottom. So if I needed to, I could undo them, take the whole thing out. But the idea is the whole thing should be self-supporting anyway. But what's really nice is actually the height that I've placed them creates a backstop for these shelves, because I was slightly worried. Didn't think about this beforehand, didn't think how I could solve it, but I seem to have solved it reasonably well. The backstop for these shelves, it just means you can't push stuff too far back and it will fall down the bottom. And there will be doors, so that's why I created this little shelf here, so the door can actually sit in here. They're not going to be anything fancy, it'll be a bit of plywood that basically will hinge open, so I can keep what's in there mostly dust free. I am aware there will be some, and I could look at the possibility of kind of blocking off that side if I wanted to, and potentially dust could come up through the bottom. I could also look at putting, I don't know, something over the bottom if I wanted to. To help me get all of these spaced out, I made myself a little jig. So essentially, it's got a couple of different elements. I did really well with the screwing not to split that, as you can see. It's got a couple of little elements. For lining up the first one, I have it that way around, and it means they're all 12mm back from the front. And then for spacing them, it serves two purposes. So basically it gave me 38mm between, but also 12mm back at the front. So yeah, quite like my little jig, completely jerry-rigged jig. It worked pretty well and got all of the spacing sorted. So for now, that's that side done. Now I need to do exactly the same on the other side. All I need to do now is put all of this together into another one down there. Right, better get on with it. Emma has prepared me lunch. This is Huel Hot and Savoury. If you haven't watched my reviews of this, they are available on the channel. Yep. This is Madras flavour. It's actually much nicer than it looks. It looks a little bit like the contents of Isla's nappies, but it's tastier than it looks. So I'm gonna have that and carry on. So I think I've pretty much finished my shed now. I did start filming about putting the doors on. Unfortunately, camera died halfway through, and then I realized how much I hate doors. Getting hinges in the right place, getting the openings right, getting everything all sorted out. Now, they are all done, but essentially the video would just have been me swearing quite a lot, and nobody needs that. So doors are all done. I've now got all shelves up as well, which just means I've got a whole lot more storage in here, and the cupboards are starting to fill up as well. So now that I've fixed down all the machinery to the workbenches, now that I've got everything stocked up, I've made sure everything's running. Yeah, pretty much the inside of the workshop is ready to go. So that's basically it. So thank you for joining me on building this workshop. If you've got any questions on how I did it, if there's any information I can give you on techniques or tools, or if you want to give me advice on what I should do or shouldn't have done, or what I should change, then I'd love to hear it. So please put that down in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you very much. The outside of the workshop is the next bit. So if you'd like to subscribe to keep up with that, then yeah, you'll get to see my forging area. And then we'll start creating. And so there will be making stuff in here as well. So that's exciting. It's all coming. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.